Imagine believing your father was dead, only to discover he wasn't, and then 9 days later you're the one who loses your life. This is the haunting story of Captain Thomas W. Cartwright Jr., an Irish immigrant, a soldier, and a son whose tragic fate will leave you speechless. It's December 17th, 1862. The Battle of Fredericksburg has just passed, and amid the chaos, Captain Thomas W. Cartwright Jr. receives shocking news. His father, also a soldier, was believed to have fallen on the battlefield. With a heavy heart and a sense of duty, Thomas Jr. is granted permission to travel to Falmouth, Virginia, to recover his father's body. Thomas Jr., an Irish immigrant born in Edenderry, County Offaly, had journeyed far from his homeland. A young man of only 20 years, he served with pride in the American Civil War. But nothing could prepare him for what he would discover upon arriving in Virginia. His father wasn't dead. It was all a mistake. Relief washed over him, but his journey wasn't without consequence. For months, Thomas had been nursing wounds he'd received earlier in the year during fierce battles. As fate would have it, those very wounds became infected. 9 days after what should have been a joyful reunion, Thomas W. Cartwright Jr. succumbed to sepsis on December 26, 1862. Thomas was buried far from the battlefields he fought on, far from his father's side. His final resting place is in Brooklyn, New York, in Greenwood Cemetery, a serene location, Section 29, Lot 13350.
I'm here in Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn. Today I'm visiting the grave of Thomas Cartwright Jr., who was born in Edenderry, County Offaly. He passed away from wounds he received in the American Civil War. As you can see from his headstone, he passed away in 1862 at the young age of 20 years old. His father also served in the American Civil War. That's Thomas Cartwright Sr. This headstone here is Thomas Jr.'s Army headstone, which is really difficult to read. I can see his name and the year of death on it, but I'm sure you can't from the camera. Also on this headstone is Thomas's sister, Hannah, wife of John Hannah, and in fact this plot is the Hannah family plot.
Thomas's story is one of those incredible, almost unbelievable twists of history, one that makes you question how much control we truly have over our fate. An Irishman, an American soldier, a son who went to find his father only to be lost himself to infection and illness. Born on December 4th, 1842, Thomas was just 20 years old when he died. His Irish roots connected him to a world far from the American battlefields where he lost his life. He was part of a generation that immigrated to America, fought for its survival, and paid the ultimate price. And yet his story was almost lost to history. Though he rests in peace far from his Irish homeland, Thomas's sacrifice reminds us of the unimaginable costs of war and the power of family bonds, even when they're tragically broken. Do stories like this one change how we view the sacrifice of our soldiers? Should we honor those whose tales have faded into the background of history? Share your thoughts in the comments below.